welcome back. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, my name is Annette and I'm a Paris-based stylist. If you have been watching me for some time or you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I specialize in the locally made fashion. Usually I show you local designers, and of course to produce everything in Europe, in the ethical condition, in the proper quality, it costs money. But today I want to give you my tips and tricks how to look good on the budget if you're really broke. Now I'm gonna start this video with a little bit of rant because I'm really sick of like those rich girls, you know, telling you that to look good on the budget you just need to buy like a simple outfits from a shitty fast fashion store and then spice it up with a designer bag. Like, I don't know like you, but when I was broke I did not have enough money to buy a designer bag or designer glasses or anything like that. So today I'm gonna give you my best tips and tricks how to look your best on the budget. I used to earn minimum wage for like several years, so I had a lot of experience in the subject. Number one, the shoes. So shoes are the most expensive thing that you have to invest, and I would recommend you two things. First of all, flats over heels. So if you can afford only one pair, go for this type of shoes that I'm showing you right now in the clip. They are flat and they will go with everything. They will go with the pants, they will go with the dresses, they will go with shorts. So this is the best investment. This pair was expensive. It was worth it, but if you cannot afford this kind of shoes, you can find a similar style in the second hand. The reason why I do not recommend high heels is because it's so hard to find comfortable high heels in general, and it's even harder to find comfortable high heels when you're on the budget. If you feel that you want to look taller or slimmer, then I would suggest you this kind of platform shoes. They're much more comfortable and you do not need to spend that much money for maintenance. Number two, bag. So obviously if you're broke you cannot afford designer bag. Now I've seen all around YouTube that everyone is recommending right now dupes, which means pretty much like fake without logos, and I don't think so this looks good. In my opinion it looks much better if you go for like some small designer bag, some small brand that nobody knows, than trying to copy, you know, high designer looks. If you want to find like really cool bag, I would recommend to go either to your local thrift store or to go to Etsy. Etsy is like really cool platform. There is a lot of local small designers and the prices are affordable. In these days I wear my Stella McCartney bag, which is my favorite bag that I wear all the time, but before that I used to wear this bag. It's from local Malaysian brand that nobody knows, but I cannot tell you how many times fashion designers ask me where did I get this bag. Number three, establish your thrifting routine. So of course this is no brainer. If you want to build your wardrobe and you don't have money, thrifting is your best friend. But if you have no money, you will have to develop discipline. So what I was doing when I was working in the store for like minimum wage, I would go every single day during my lunch break after I eat my sandwich to go around and check all of the thrift stores in the area. If you live in the city, you can do the same thing. You can just check around if you have any thrift stores in your area. If you do not, you can do the same thing by checking thrift store online. Number four, check out local flea markets. So, like thrifting on the flea markets is always cheaper than thrifting in the stores, mainly because they're usually not professional people and they just wanna get rid of the stuff. But you need to also establish routine around that. So you need to check every month where are the flea markets around your area, and you have to go to those ones that are in the more privileged part of town. What I used to do, I used to check up every month where the flea market is gonna be in the nice part of town. There is two strategies you can do. I would either wake up at 5 a.m. and be at 6 a.m. in the flea market and then have the most choice, or I will go just before people pack up, just before closing, and then people usually wanted to get rid of the stuff and sell it like really cheap. This scarf, for example, I got on the flea market and it was 50 cents. This dress that I'm wearing I got in the store and it was 12 euros. Number five, the haircut. So if you have a beautiful hair naturally, then you don't have a problem. If you have a hair like mine, like really thin, I would recommend you to have a mid-length haircut. Why the mid-length? It's the cheapest option and it's the most budget friendly, because first of all, if you have a super short hair, you need to go to hairstylist like every month and it's gonna cost you money. If you have a long hair, that requires a lot of care and a lot of products. When I was broke, I had the same mid-length haircut for years, and it's really the best because at the worst case, if you don't have money for a hairstylist, you can ask your friend to cut the end. Overall, the simpler the haircut, the better. Number six, plan your shopping. So certain things are good to buy on the flea markets, like let's say tops or like jackets, because you can just, you know, throw it on yourself and see if you look good. But pants, for example, I would not recommend to do. I would rather recommend buying them online or in the thrift shop that actually has a fitting room. I actually made this mistake like a lot of times. I came back home with 3 or 4 pair of pants that they were way too small. Number 7, join Facebook. So I know that Facebook is kind of boring and nobody is using it anymore and it's mainly for our parent generation, but If you want to build your wardrobe and you live in the city, I would strongly recommend you to join Facebook. When I moved to Paris, I have joined every single Facebook group. Women in Paris, expats in Paris, Americans in Paris, and so on. And on those groups, there's very often people who will post, I'm moving out of town, I would like to sell my wardrobe, and you can find pieces like for 2 euros, 3 euros, 5 euros. When I struggle with money, I used to check those groups almost every day. I always spend half an hour a day to check if there is anything new, and I will show you right now some outfits that I got from them. Number 8, don't be fooled. So I know that we all follow celebrities, our favorite YouTubers, Instagrammers, and there's nothing wrong with it. But before you buy the next 15 euro fast fashion dress that is more likely not gonna last you longer than a month, ask yourself this question. Do you really think that this rich girl who is flexing on you their designer bag that costs more than your rent is really excited about this cute fast fashion dress with the shitty fabrics and the shitty cut? More likely not. Celebrities and fashion bloggers do not love fast fashion. They're being paid to tell you that they love it. I won't be picking up on anyone, but please take into account that whatever looks good on Instagram, on camera, or on YouTube, it does not mean that it will look good in the real life. I will shit on myself because I don't want to run on other people. So look at those photos. These are photos that I put on Instagram and they look great. In the real life, those shoes were ridiculous. I wore them 10 minutes and I was already tired and hot because they were such a shitty quality. This shirt looks great on the photo. It's from Boohoo. All of those things I sent it back immediately because it was impossible to wear. It looked terrible in real life. It smelled bad, it didn't fit properly, but on Instagram looks great, right? And many of those outfits, they look great on Instagram or on video because of the lighting and heavy editing. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and see all of those videos, how Fashion Nova looks in real life, how this and this brand looks in real life. And then you will see, expectations versus reality. Also, stay away from Wish. Wish, I think, is the worst website that is for fashion that has been around. And I admit I did order a few years ago when they were just starting some things from there because it was hard to resist. It cost like $2, $5, $10. I ordered 10 pieces. Maybe 2 of them were wearable for a month. So I understand that it's hard to resist if something is that cheap. But take into account that if you have a $20 budget, you can find a nice jeans jacket and a nice dress, let's say like this set, for around the same kind of money. And they actually gonna last. Number 9. When you shop online, always check refund policy. So normally, because we live in Europe or in the US or in Australia, we are so used to the fact that if you don't like something, you can return it. But many of those cheap websites that they ship from overseas, like let's say from China, they have a very complicated refund policy. So sometimes it's just not worth it to send the items back if you don't like them. Also take into account that if they ship from China, they're more likely not gonna fit, especially if you're a tall person, and many of those stores designed for Asian body types, which is usually more petite. And then when you want to resend the items, you will find out that actually it costs almost as much as the outfit itself. And my last but not least tip, check overseas brands. So obviously if you're struggling with money, you do not have extra cash to traveling. So I'm not gonna tell you to go and travel and then shop when you travel. But maybe you have international friends, maybe you live in the international area and your friends are immigrants or their parents are immigrants, and once in a while they go back to their home countries. If you like what they are wearing, you can ask them to actually shop for you. When I was broke, I used to do most of my shopping in Malaysia because that's where my family lives and it was much cheaper, but also I will shop for brands that they do not exist in Europe. So when I came back to Europe, everyone was asking, oh, where did you get it? It's so cool, it's so pretty. So pretty much all of those outfits that I'm showing you right now, they were bought in Kuala Lumpur, and a lot of people pay attention to them because they're so different than what we see here in Europe. I personally like the style from Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. Those 3 countries I love to shop when I travel. Obviously right now it's not possible, but one day we will go back to normal. Okay guys, this is it for today, so thank you for watching. I hope so that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!